Hey guys, and welcome to yet another Immortal Empires showdown. I'm a Rubber Duck of War, and today we're going to be answering the question that's been on the lips of many a people. How will High Elves fare against some of the demons? Well, we have a glorious alliance of elf on elf, taking on Slaanesh as well as Morathi in a very thematic battle. I'm going to be saying this at the start of many of my videos. I'm going to be dropping 2 videos a day for the, first couple of days, I suppose, of this early access drop. And YouTube doesn't like that too much, so make sure to subscribe to hopefully get, these videos pushed towards you. And if not, just check out my channel now and again. There's most likely going to be some new content about there. I am teaming up with Indy Pride of Milk and Cookies today, fantastic YouTuber, and he's going to be my ally. I'm a little bit rusty on Warhammer gameplay at the moment, so this was one of my first games. In fact, maybe my first game, I'm not sure, on this early access build, which I should say is still in progress. Obviously, you can see at top left, development in progress. And yes, I'm looking for him to carry me where possible. It is a teclis Tyrion alliance versus Darv, and I believe Samurai Warrior. It's going to get a bit confusing on who's who because I've played so many people, but I believe that is the team up. For ourselves, we have the glorious Tyrion on the left-hand flank, guarded by the Fireborn regiment-round Dragon Princes, Flaming Lancers getting ready to be lowered, and I got a load of cheap and cheerful troops because it's basically basic Spearmen and some Lothran Sea Guard. The majority of my money, of course, is in the Fireborn, as well as my single entities. I have a glorious Great Eagle, Regal and Deadly, and a Flamesfire Phoenix, which I'm thinking is going to be pretty good against demons. Magic attacks to get through that physical resistance, I thought could be quite useful indeed. Indy Pride is a really awesome and quite flashy build as well. We've got a load of basic Spearmen in the front, cheap and cheerful troops, but we also have some Illyrian Reavers, Rangers, and an Eagle Claw Bolt Thread to try to drag our opponents towards us. He's also coming in with the Sisters of Avalon, a really nice pick here, particularly in combination with Teclis, of course, is going to be coming in with his nets to pin the enemy in place. In fact, he's been coming in with quite a few magical spells. With a Star Dragon up in the skies, helping to lead the charge. I also have a Handmaiden of the Ever Queen, a little bit more pushed forward, and a Mage of Death coming in with the Purple Sun and Spirit Leech. As for our opponents, it is going to be Slaanesh and Morathi, of course, who is a Slaanesh fanatic herself. And I think Slaanesh could be a little rough for elves, maybe. There is so much fast-moving, hard-hitting units, it's going to be quite tough. There's a load of Chaos Furies up in the skies. We have some Marauders down on the low ground, as well as Demonettes of Slaanesh. We have Scourge Runner Chariots looking to lead the charge, and we also have Hellstriders mixed in with some Heartseekers on this left-hand flank. With 2 Manticles up in the skies, we have Slaanesh Harvesters, a load of Dark Riders, including repeater crossbows in the trees, and a bucket ton of Scourge Runner Chariots. It is mobility all over the park. With a Death Hag, we have Morathi on foot, interestingly enough, coming in with Soul Stealer. We'd think to see her in the air on a Manticore, but honestly, it's probably better she wasn't with the Dragon and Flamesfire Phoenix lurking. We also have KARI helping to lead the charge. God only knows what evil pact these two made to charge into combat together. It's going to be good fun stuff though. Our opponents are going to go for a big flank overload, of course, using the trees to maneuver a large portion of our army around to Indy Pride's side of our formation, which is kind of good for me in a way. It means my troops might survive a little bit longer. Of course, it's bad for the team effort though, so that's probably not the best way to think about it. Handmaiden's going to get full and start poking down the Scourge Runner Chariots. Again, magic attacks on long range is, in my eyes, hopefully going to be enough to help fully pick down someone like KARI. At least that's the thinking behind this pick here. I'm going to start to move forward and rotate around a little bit as well, looking to take the threat of the Dark Elves pretty seriously, as that is rotating around very fast with some Hellstrider allies. So I'm actually going to be moving the Fireborn and Tyrion over to the right-hand side, looking to protect my ally in the early days, and leave some of the other heavy hitters on this left-hand flank as our opponents do approach. It looks like Scourge Runners are getting in position. They're going to be focusing down some of the Spearmen. Actually doing significant damage there. That's quite surprising. I guess it's just 4 Scourge Runners. It's going to hurt when it does indeed hit. The Eagle Bolt Thrower is not in a great position, at least this one. There's actually 2 on the battlefield. Missed that in the deployment zone part. The Eagle Bolt Thrower on the right-hand side is looking really vulnerable, and look at the amount of cav just streaming down this flank. Hellstriders are moving right around, and it looks like there will be Illyrian Reavers to counterpunch them. I don't know if that's going to be enough, so Star Dragons on arrival, Flamesfire Phoenix, as well as Eagles floating out to that side, but then our opponents hit us on the left-hand side, and I'm forced to drag the Fireborn back, looking to deal with the Furies as swiftly as possible, who are ripping into the Lothran Sea Guard, doing massive burst damage there. And the poor handmaiden has been caught by KARI. I'm attempting to flee in 360 no-scope, but look how quickly I am indeed going down here. Witchstealer's Sword is active. We have our big birds coming over. Flamesfire Phoenix and Great Eagle looking to bring the pain to KARI. We also have, of course, the Fireborn nearby to support. There is so many forces of Slaanesh banging at the door. Demonettes are starting to push through. We do have a little bit of magical prowess coming into the action here, though. Looks like Bringers of Begarment are about to get gobbled up by a purple sun. A rather lovely cast, I must say so myself. Look at the damage we did. I love it. That is unfortunately kind of petered away in the wrong direction. Unfortunately, my allies actually getting overwhelmed on the right-hand flank. Just the sheer amount of cavalry shutting down the bolt throwers and also forcing Teclis on to the back foot. We do have the mighty Tyrion taking on a feral manticore. He should be able to do pretty damn good in that situation. Just look at the glorious boy, and he is going to be hacking and slashing into the manticore, who is now rampaging all over the battlefield. We take a nice overarching view. It is incredibly close so far. The back line has got really heated. We have exalted demonettes, no, just basic demonettes, moving over to try to support KARI, who's been surrounded by some of the bravest elves you're ever likely to see. The Fireborn do charge in and surround KARI. Very fortunate, though, for the Slaanesh player. His cycle charge actually takes him away from the Fireborn there. Although he does decide to charge back in, we are going to get a nasty Spirit Leech come in, and I am now surrounded by the fast-moving Hellstriders. So this engagement started well and fell off a bit poorly. Looks like that Spirit Leech is actually mine. Look at the cool new animation, the claw coming over KARI, doing some lovely work there. Lothra and Seaguard are being jumped, and our front lines just do not exist anymore. We're getting completely demolished in that regard. However, we are holding our ground with our heroes. Tyrion's doing fine. Teclis is here. The brothers have not always seen eye to eye. When it comes to fighting back the forces of the Dark Elves and demons, they tend to be on the same page. Star Dragon is flying up. Looks like he's about to receive a lovely bit of a heal here. At least it looks like it. Yeah, we're going to get an overcast regrowth on there. Looks like a Flame Sword of Rune had actually gone down on the Great Eagle, trying to support the nearby lads, but he is falling back now to the safety of friendly territory. Soul Sealer does go down, catching out a lot of our troops. There's so many chariots and cavalry everywhere. It's looking a little bleak. We have some infantry that can come back, but it is incredibly beat up. And it looks like the Fireborn are indeed going to go down, but they've been fighting tooth and nail. My God, very impressed with the Fireborn. Up to 2.2k value here. Teclis comes over to support, and the Fireborn need to get moving, though. Pop into that Manticore and stop the slaughter of Teclis. The Cheeky Whip is going to come in, doing some okay damage to them. Big Birds are doing some nice work as well, hunting down at the Hellstriders. The mighty Star Dragon is floating around, up to no good, ready to start some trouble in the neighborhood. And Tyrion is a little surrounded. Likewise is my Mage of Death. Look at the amount of enemies. We are completely surrounded here. Morathi's hunting down the mighty Tyrion, who is trotting away at a slow pace here. He has Foe Seeker popped, but is really struggling to escape. We're going to start doing some fire poops, of course, with the Flamesfire Phoenix getting in there, doing some decent work. And Tyrion is constantly being able to escape here. I really need to get a Sunfang to clear out this infantry. That would be the best thing for me. We have a fight of the summoned units, although neither of these are actually summoned, but they both do come in, of course, with the transformation of Kadon. The Great Eagle, unfortunately, is rampaging, but not before he gets a lick or two in on the Feral Manticore, and the Flamesfire Phoenix has flown over to come support. He's got a thing or two to say about those who pick on his buddy. It looks like Tyrion is now dueling Morathi in glorious hand-to-hand combat. Of course, she has a halberd, lovely pirouette there as she dances away. But Tyrion is a warlord without equal, really, amongst elves. He is such a powerhouse, and he is dishing out to Morathi relatively well there. Star Dragon is healthy. Indy plied my allies done a beautiful job of keeping Teclis and the Star Dragon alive, despite kind of maybe not getting the best support from me in those early engagements. His right-hand side really got overwhelmed as I was desperately trying to organize my lines. Dark Riders are popping shots into the Flamesfire Phoenix as well as the Eagle from point-blank range. We are able to overwhelm the Feral Manticore, though, which at least is a bit of a ray of sunshine in a otherwise dire situation. It looks like Sunfang does go down. My opponent, rather swiftly there, is able to dodge. Beautiful play with the Demonettes by... again, I'm trying to remember who everyone was. I believe it's Samurai Warrior Slash. I may be wrong. I apologize if I am quoting the wrong person here. But we're able to escape, which is nice. And now Tyrion is going to be charging it back in. And I still want this fight with Morathi. I don't care she's anti-large. She's a Dark Elf. And if I know anything, Dark Elves are inferior to the might of the power of Tyrion. All elves bow before his majesticness. We do come in with a purple sun. May seem like a bit of a waste, but I really wanted to get rid of those demonettes and force them off the battlefield and just help support Tyrion where possible in a more fair confrontation and fight. It looks like the glorious Major Death is moving over to help out the homies where possible. We have our feint popped on with Tyrion. It looks like we're also going to be getting a regrowth from the Flamesfire Phoenix, which is quite nice. And we get a lovely Net of Amantalk overcast here by Indy and the mighty force of Teclis. And you guessed it, it is going to be a fiery convocation. A Phoenix is born into the realm of the living, doing devastating work there to that unit, just getting them basically off the field. My Phoenix is run away, but he's got potential to come back. A Spirit Leech is sapping the strength of Morathi as the Mage and Tyrion go for a bit of a 2v1. Morathi normally doesn't mind a bit of 2v1, but in this case, she's getting a sword shoved where she doesn't really want it. She is down on her face, they're getting shoved over. Tyrion is rampaging, but he is joyful in his bloodthirsty rampage. The Major Death is forced back. The Great Eagle does swan into action once more, swooping death from the skies, trying to snipe out Morathi, who is getting very weak, just 762 HP in the distance. Teclis is like, Tyrion, get your ass over. He's been hunted down by Heartseekers, but I simply can't help out my ally right now. I'm desperately trying to kill Morathi, and it looks like Tyrion may just be able to do that. The Dark Riders, unfortunately, although they actually are fine, but they seem to be a little unable to hunt down Tyrion. Doing big damage to the Star Dragon, though, is rather gnarly stuff. So the Flamesfire Phoenix comes over here, helps support my homie Teclis, and keep him alive so I can escort him back to the action. Hopefully, get a regrowth from the Star Dragon or Psychon. It looks like it's already his healing cap, but it needs to come in with some more magic. And his main job's now to hunt down these Dark Riders. They are the biggest threat to Tyrion, as well as the Flamesfire Phoenix, who's doing some lovely little fire poops as he bounces up and around. Looks like there was a net placed on the Bringers of Beguilement, at least briefly there. So Squadron of Chariots are surrounding Tyrion now here, whack them down with one good hit each. Sunfang is going to come in, and unfortunately my opponent dodges. I don't think this was a deliberate dodge. I think he was actually just hunting down the Star Dragon, but unfortunately my miss there may actually cost us our Star Dragon, which is not good at all. Looks like the Death Hag is vibing. She's up to 66 kills. She must have been chasing off the battlefield and is on her way back. We still have some spearmen from my ally here. They are fighting some just basic marauders there. And it looks like the Flamesfire Phoenix is flown around, trying to hunt down the enemies. Some more fire poops come down on the Bringers of Beguilement. Star Dragon is fleeing right now. He's apparently rampaging as well. If he can come back, breath attacks could be pretty crucial in the late game. Tyrion and Teclis are pretty much all that remains, bar one or two units. And Tyrion is an absolute raid boss at the moment, hunting down Squadron of Chariots. They can't flee from him. He's so quick. Coming in with a ridiculous amount of speed. Let's have a little look here. 95 speed. He is currently knackered as well, so he's been bouncing around the battlefield all day long. The brothers still remain though. Teclis is doing a good job. Flamesfire Phoenix is getting surrounded by Dark Riders who have used up their ammunition as he attempts to pick apart the Squadron of Chariots. Tyrion is going to chase off as many units as physically possible. But death from the skies once more. The Star Dragon rallies. A big breath attack comes down the line, catching out the Chariots. A little bit of friendly fire, but I don't mind a bit of a bathe in the fire, particularly when I am a Flamesfire Phoenix. And that breath attack is going to be enough to force down the Dark Riders. It looks like the other unit was able to get revenge. And a very sad day for elf kind. You can see the snapped neck as it landed on the ground. That is brutal stuff. And it is that the brothers and a Phoenix are left cooking. We still have a Death Hag to deal with, which is going to be quite problematic. Balance power is now in our favor. Tyrion is on the warpath, hunting down those Dark Riders, trying to get over there as quickly as possible. Flamesfire Phoenix is gooning out the Squadron of Chariots, having a relatively good time doing that as well. He's a pretty scary beast. He's very near his healing cap at this point. In fact, he's on his healing cap. But I think the Flamesfire Phoenix has been a bit of a nuisance to our opponents today. Tyrion is desperately trying to hunt down the Dark Riders. I'm actually trying to avoid the Death Hag where possible and just jump on the Dark Riders and finish them off. Because, again, even with their limited ammunition, they have, 3 volleys left. That's enough to put a hurt on Tyrion real bad. So I'm actually going to switch positions here, though, with Teclis. He is going to be the one to hunt down the Dark Riders, so I can hunt down the Squadron of Chariots, doing a bit more damage, as well as dueling the Death Hag where need be. It does allow the opponents come in, though, with a pretty nasty trap, so the Dark Riders are able to surround Teclis. He was able to swig one of his potions to give him a bit of durability. With a Death Hag here, it could certainly be scary. And I can hear the cries right now of Teclis. And Tyrion, he shall answer the call. It looks like our Flamesfire Phoenix did indeed go down. Tyrion looking like he's leading the Dark Riders here, which is a bit of bad foreshadowing maybe. But is charging into the rear of the Death Hag, sending her absolutely bounding off the arse of Teclis' horse there. And I am now surrounded by a swarm of enemies. But if Tyrion's done anything right in his life, it is the famed Ulf one surrounded surrounded by enemies, and also to protect his little bro, Teclis. We are getting a beautiful little cast there by my ally, Flame Sword of Ruin, really buffing up the might of Tyrion, who's doing quite a decent job here down in the middle. It looks like we are going to see our little heal as well prop in. We are basically at our healing cap now, and that was quite nice because we're getting relatively low on HP, and it is a slaughter here in the middle. We do have some more Marauders of Slaanesh. Look at them in all their glory, charging forward to bring pain to us. Dark Rise are starting to break, though. Ammunition is wavering. It looks like one unit maybe has 1 or 2 volleys left, and my ally Teclis does break. Tyrion's like, no, brother, have faith. You can hold the line, in a pure burning rage brings fire down on himself and the enemies, doing some pretty solid damage. Looks like that's going to be enough maybe to force off the Dark Riders, as well as do some pretty good work as well onto more Marauders. I'm desperately trying to save Teclis. I don't think it's going to work, though. And now the Death Hag's coming in. The Death Hag is a bit of a death dealer. She's very powerful in melee combat here, and I'm going to be trying my best to drag her to pieces. But it's going to be a tough fight for sure. The ground is littered with the dead. You can see so many bodies all over the battlefield. That's not even including the demons who have been summoned back into the warp. It looks like Teclis most likely isn't going to be coming back, at least at the moment. Tyrion is going toe-to-toe with the Death Hag and doing some pretty decent damage. We are at our healing cap here, which is a little bit scary. Of course, if I can get another burst of the Sunfang, pop it down on the Dark Riders and finish him off, I'll be relatively happy here. Some of the Dark Riders are trying to shoot Tyrion, but they don't want to have the risk of hitting their own troops here, so they're going to kind of just vibe instead. Tyrion does go to hunt down the Death Hag, and he's rotating around and actually does a little feint there. I love that, pirouetting around the Death Hag and coming off the Dark Rise. Teclis actually returns. He's like, you know what, I can't let my bro down. I'm going to fight to the death, and it looks like Teclis, though, probably is actually going to die, and there he goes pretty swiftly at hitting a dumpster once he did come back. But I appreciate the effort of him coming in and fighting the good fight. Tyrion's just going to hunt down the horsemen where possible. Balance power is very heavily in my favor right now. I'm just trying to break units where possible. I'm going to do a little bit of fast forward here. As you can see, it is just a sloppy grind in the middle. My opponents, of course, need a little bit of cycle charging with the Dark Rise, which is 1000% what they should be doing to try to finish us off. But we are really just carving our way through the enemy. You can see them starting to lose faith here. Dark Rise once again are forced back, and the Squadron Chariots are really beat up. The Marauders of Slaanesh do indeed shatter and start to run away. Tyrion is a raid boss right now, doing some lovely hacks and slashes. I am trying to get to the Death Hag where possible. Actually, looks like I'm trying to chase off this unit, but I need to just focus down probably the Squadron of Chariots. We're going to be able to kill one per hit, more or less. So trying to force path my way through to the Death Hag probably isn't going to be the best play here, though we are doing some solid damage to them. And yeah, the Death Hag not having a good day whatsoever. She's waving. Tyrion is laughing in her face, once again insulting all those who oppose him. He shoves her down onto the ground with a stab of the sword to the face, and I can speak from personal experience, being stabbed in the face with a sword isn't the most pleasant time to spend your Thursday afternoons. Tyrion continues to try to decapitate the Death Hag and drag her head from her shoulders. Squadron Chariots are going to continue to fight. They do indeed shatter, and somehow, after what was a violent start for me and my ally here, we were able to hold the line. Massive shout out to Indy Pride, though, my ally there. He may cast this as well, I don't know. You're going to see a lot of casts coming up from quite a few of us on each other's channels, and maybe being recast, just because there was so many awesome games, and obviously people want to give you the most awesome stuff where physically possible. But yeah, I think he did a really good job, particularly in the early day, kind of just holding my hand and trying to drag us through that early phase. And then that allowed me to shine in the late game with Tyrion. You can see Teclis, 2.2k value, 1.7k on the dragon. Other units kind of struggled a bit more. For myself, though, Tyrion was an absolute just champion of the people. 4.5k gold value, 96 kills, which is 69 backwards. He's even stunting on his opponents with the kill count. We have 2.4k with the Fireborn, 1.2 with the Flamesfire Phoenix. Even the Eagle walked down and dirty with 1000 value. So it was all around a really good, fun time. And a well played to our opponents as well. I mean, 2.4k on Morathi is really quite tasty. And a Squadron of Chariots were in use, and Starve really knows how to use those skirmish cav pretty scarily. 2.6k on the KARI, and the cavalry may be a bit of a problem now. We actually managed to deal with the cavalry relatively well in the late game. I think the Bringers of Begarment are going to be amazing in Immortal Empires. 2.3k value on them. But yeah, the Heartseekers certainly got the job done, and we got overwhelmed really badly, but kind of fell back on our single entities, and were able to get some good engagements there and really reign supreme. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date. I'm going to be dropping 2 videos a day for at least, 3 or 4 days from Thursday when I'm allowed to kind of showcase their stuff. So make sure to subscribe to try to catch that, or just check out the channel now and again. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed and want me to continue doing more Immortal Empires for you guys. And yeah, I hope you guys leave a comment down below. Just explain what was your favourite moment in the battle, what did you enjoy, and all that good stuff. Load of links in the description: Twitch, Patreon, Discord. Massive shout out to my Patreons and YouTube members to keep the channel going. And until next time, peace, and as always, stay awesome.